It's a frigid 20-something degrees. It's cold. It's snowy. I love it. Thinking about Matthew 18. You know, the scripture where Jesus is talking to his disciples. As a matter of fact, he's got a child sitting on his lap in the early part of the chapter. And Jesus says, if someone sins, and against you is not in the scripture, the original manuscripts, but if he sins, go to him in private and deal with him. If he refuses to hear you, you take 2 or 3 witnesses, people who know the deal, have seen it, know about it, experienced it. If they don't hear them, then you're supposed to tell it to the church, a wider setting, wider group of people. This is to bring restoration. Let's be clear about that. But the last part, if he doesn't even hear from the church, what are we supposed to do? Well, Jesus told the disciples to treat him as a Gentile and a tax collector. Treat him as a Gentile and a tax collector. Well, now, if you're hearing this and you're one of these young men, you know how they felt about Gentiles and tax collectors. They didn't like them at all. And I wonder what they were thinking, because what I'm thinking is, do I treat them as a Gentile and a tax collector as someone who's not following Jesus? Or do I treat them as a tax collector and a Gentile as someone who is following Jesus? And if I'm treating them as someone who is following Jesus, well, I've seen Jesus and I know how he treats Gentiles and tax collectors. And that's really interesting, because now we have to face how we treat a Gentile and a tax collector as Jesus would treat them. Not as someone who just would love to get rid of them, excommunicate them, kick them out, have nothing to do with them. But Jesus, he told one tax collector, follow me. He healed Gentiles. Yeah. So maybe it's about bringing them back to the beginning again, but not excommunicating them, but drawing in on fellowship with them to restore, to bring them into right fellowship once again. That's following Jesus.